Guess what, superstar? You're invited to the Sync Barbecue. Cause I'm finna be frank. No beef necessary. And look, if you too thirsty, that messes up the Sync ecosystem. Okay. And also, I'm finna bang bang on these music buyers. Look here. If music buyers are too stingy or too greedy, that messes it up too. Everybody finna lose money. We just playing, look, we ain't even doing Sync no more. We just playing a race to the bottom. Undercutting the next indie artist is a race to the bottom because it erodes the entire market as the pool of music continues to increase. Okay, let's go.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now?
When you talk money, I can hear you. You ain't got money, that's cold blood. When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
I coulda let a bill collect the finance director, like the banks ain't lending up down. When you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit on my.
Hey, Bubble on deck. I'm your host, Tamara Bubble. Yeah, let me scooch in so we could get comfortable. Because I'm finna blast a couple people this episode. But before we do, can I tell you, look, I'm hosting this thing. This is my podcast. I'm hosting it because, look, I'm a fellow Sync superstar. Look, I want to see you win. Look, AKA, I'm a I hear money coach. Look, I also am a I hear you losing money coach. Can I coach you on how to keep the money that you about to lose? Yeah, that's why we here. We trying to hear money. We trying to get to it. And we trying to hold on to it after we get it. Anyway. Because of that, look, there's 4 goals that I got in mind, that I had in mind, and that I keep in mind when it come to this podcast, when it come to you, superstar. And let's go through them real quickly so I can blast off after it. Anyway, goal number 1 is to save you money in your Sync business. I'm trying to tell you now, if you don't know nothing about a Sync business, could you go back to episode 1? Could you start watching that? Yeah, start from the beginning and come on forward, and you finna know why you need a Sync business. Goal number 2 is to make you more money in music licensing. Look, goal number 3 is to transform your mindset. This episode is a mindset episode. Look, I'm blasting everybody from the future superstar to the Sync agent to the music buyer, aka the music supervisor. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking to you. Anyway, keep watching. You're gonna hear money, or you're gonna hear money leaving this episode anyway. Now, goal number 4 is to activate your superstar. And I got to activate your superstar because look, it's already there. Why would you have, look, do y'all remember that there's a verse in the Bible talking about this? If you got talents, don't bury them talents, or you finna lose them. Look, that superstar is within. I'm just here to activate it so you can go ahead out here and get the superstar, at least in Sync anyway. Okay, look. I got a little ahead of myself. I forgot what time it is. Excuse me. Yeah, it's subscribey time. It's a little past skin 30. Can I tell you one thing? When it comes to subscribey time, I need you to know this podcast gonna keep ticking. So real quickly, if you're new to this podcast, if it's the first time that you came up in here, welcome. Do me a favor. Go ahead and give this podcast a 5-star review. I need a 5-star review because I don't do nothing but give you gems. So you got to know that's what you got to do. Go ahead and give me that 5-star because I'm going ahead and giving you gems for free. Look, in my spare time. Anyway, I don't have much of that. Anyway, it's a little bit past skin 30. So after you give me that 5-star review, come back to this episode. Look, you ain't even got to pause it. The podcast gonna keep ticking away. It's a smart podcast. Yeah. Anyway, come back, subscribe, turn on them notifications, hit the bell, ding dong. You know what I'm saying. Come back to YouTube. Come back to Spotify. Come back to Apple Podcasts. Get it how you live, but do me a favor and share it with your people. Could you share this episode with a thirsty artist? Look. Could you share this episode with a producer that don't value his music and he just killing the ecosystem? Ew. Could you share this episode with a songwriter that's so thirsty to get on that they'll give their music away for free? Ew. Look, if you want to give your music away for free, why is you even here learning about Sync? Just go out here and give it away. Look, anyway, come back to this episode. Come back to this podcast. Share this episode. Share your favorite episode. But just look. Go back to episode 2 and tell them, this is one of the greatest episodes I ever listened to. Look, my ears still want to hear it. Look, I done listened to this episode 20 times and I love it. So I need you to listen to. Go ahead and tell the people so the people know to come get this game. Okay, now that you know about subscribey time, now that you know about the goals of this podcast, can we talk about the sponsor? Look, I want you to know that this podcast ain't here out of thin air. Yeah, can I tell you, there was some thick air, there was some brainstorming, there was some people that cared about your future in this sync world. And they said, look, could we go ahead and put an academy together? Look, could we go ahead and get some resources that these artists ain't finna find by themselves? Look, could we go ahead and get these artists some games so they can understand why they need a sync business, so they can save a whole lot of sync money that they finna earn? And then could we go ahead and teach them how to get it in a couple of weeks? And we was like, yeah, I like that. Yeah. So here we are. Sync Superstar Academy. That's the podcast sponsor. Look, that's this episode sponsor. Look, if you want to sponsor, you're going to have to break some bread. But look, when I tell you the Sync Superstar Academy has already broke bread to create these resources for you. Yeah. Can I tell you there's templates? Look, some of them free, most of them not. Okay. Look, there's courses, there's master classes, there's books. Look, can I tell you there's a challenge? Look. There's a self-study 24-hour Sync Superstar Activation Challenge. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to give you content every day. Look, every 24 hours. In a couple of weeks, you're going to know how to superstar in these streets. Your mind going to be transformed. And can I tell you, look, as a bonus in that challenge, you get a consultation with yours truly. 1 hour. Can I tell you? Look, my rate to come speak to me ain't cheap. Yeah, I charge heavy for my time because I could be out here making money. Anyway, when you take that challenge, you're going to get to talk to me as a bonus. So look, go ahead and take advantage. Go ahead and learn how to superstar and then ask me all the questions you need to ask me about sync, because I'm trying to teach you how to superstar because there's a whole lot of money out here. But can I tell you something? What we finna talk about this episode? Look, how the money might disappear. Yeah, anyway. Before we get into it, I got to tell you, look, I know a little legal stuff. Look, I know a little tax stuff, but I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant anymore. Look, I was a formerly licensed CPA, and I need you to know that the tax ideas, look, the sync game, look, the legal hacks that I be giving up on this podcast. Yeah, I could be charging for it, but I choose not to, because look, it's not professional legal or business advice. Look, it's not professional tax advice. Look, it's just my personal opinions. But can I tell you, this brain got some good opinions? Look, this brain got some opinions that make you some money. So just pay attention, listen up, learn a little, laugh a lot, bubble on that.
When you talk money, I can hear you. I hear money.
What you say now? Hey. You ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't hit on my. I keep it moving like the tax collector, like the credit checker, let the whole world pay full price. And if you ain't got money, then you start sounding funny, and I just can't share that right.
Okay, now we finna get right up into this episode because I got to talk to you about the sync ecosystem. Now, I want to say this before we get started. Look, because I'm not taking long with this episode. Look, this episode kind of make my throat itch, but I got to tell it to you anyway because you finna make your pockets hurt. Okay, you finna hurt everybody's pockets if I'm talking to you. If this applies to you. Look, if the shoe fit, go ahead and put it on and tie it up so you don't trip and fall. Anyway, what I got to talk to you about this episode is the sync ecosystem, but I want to preface it with this. Look here, because I talk about this in the fundamentals of sync. It's a 2-hour masterclass. I don't just give you the what is a sync. We not just talking about that. You know what I'll be covering in that masterclass? I'm covering the reason why you need to get up and sync right now. Look, stop putting it off. Because look, in a couple of years, maybe there won't be no industry. And you could have already came in, get the superstar, made bank, and pivot and put that money into some other thing that's making you some more money. Look, when I tell you how to superstar, it's not just for you to be bragging about what placements you get. It's for you to create a lifestyle you can live on for life. Okay. Yeah. Just know that there's to be continued. And I got some more things I'm going to put in play for my superstars once you start superstarring. Okay. Now, what I got to tell you is that, look, that masterclass, we kind of covered why the indie ecosystem was created as far as sync is concerned, why there even is a sync industry. But I'm going to dig a little bit deeper and show you how this whole entire industry could get thrown away. Look, how there won't be no money for you, or me. Okay, no more future money. But what I'm trying to tell you, if you was already superstar, look, if you had already took this challenge, you can have money banked, and I can show you how to continue to create money from money you already got. So you ain't even got to get out here and work no more. Yeah, I be teaching stuff that look quiet as it's kept. These are secrets of the rich and famous. Look, secrets of the rich and unfamous. Look, secrets of the filthy, stinking, indie rich. You know what you know. You know what you know if you read from Sync to Superstar. Now, could we get up into it? Because look, the Sync ecosystem, when we talk about the indie world and why you can even pitch music out here in these streets today, was created out of greed. And I don't know if I should call it greed. I'll say it was created out of the major label, the major music industry world's unwillingness to come down on prices. So let's talk about it. Look, a couple decades ago, we wasn't alive. Yeah. Anyway, people was out here living and thriving. And can I tell you, your music wasn't getting heard if you wasn't signed to a janky record deal. Look, you couldn't call those record label deals bad because everybody had them. You just needed it to be heard, period. There was a time, look, I hear back in the day, there was a time where you wasn't on if you wasn't signed, period. You wasn't making no living. You wasn't no indie artist. Look, these were new words. Okay. So we're a little privileged out here now that we look in a world where I can just go online and pay $1 or $2 and get my song up and available for the entire world to hear. Can I tell you, once upon a time, it wasn't available. Yeah. Now, so be grateful for that. Okay. So, cause look, once the indie music world became available and you didn't need a record label, now you got access to gatekeepers. You got access to customers in ways that you couldn't get. Look, if your CD wasn't in a store, you wasn't heard, period. Okay. Nobody didn't know you. Okay. So can I tell you, it's a different world now. And when I tell you the sync world, the indie sync world as we know it, look, if you took down fundamentals of sync, you would know what I'm talking about. So I need you to go ahead and take that. But anyway, if the sync indie world as we know it was created because the major labels were unwilling to lower their prices for licensing when there is a whole layer of amazing music from indie artists. Can I tell you? Because here's the thing. More content started being created. So look, if you got more content and you got the same amount of budgets, can I tell you budgets per production are going to decrease? Yeah. So look, even if they want to license your music, they can't afford to. So the music buyers got to go to where that money can get them some good quality music. In comes the indie artist world. Look, thank you, Jesus. Now, all you needed was an agent to get to these music buyers. These agents would get your music there directly. You ain't need no label. You get your placement. You can get out here and superstar. I know, because I know. Yeah. Now, in comes this sync world, right? So when productions got big, nice, healthy budgets, this is what they do. They go to the majors and get the music that they want. They go to the majors and get the superstars that they want. Yeah. When their budgets are limited, they don't play that game. They go to the indie artists and get the music they want. Yeah. So now we have this thriving ecosystem where these indie artists can make a nice, healthy living. Okay. For their music without getting a stream. Look, without having one single fan. Look, they ain't got no followers and they out here thriving. Can I tell you the rent is paid? Can I tell you the mortgage is taken care of? Can I tell you the car is noted? Yeah, anyway. Look, or the car is bought and paid off. Anyway, you don't know. Look, I'm trying to tell you how to superstar and you don't want to know. Anyway, look, can I tell you something else? Now that this ecosystem is created, I need to tell you, look, I done told you about them libraries. The libraries are beneath the indie ecosystem in the world of sync. Okay. Look, when the music buyers has such a small, teeny tiny budget, they can't afford the indie music. They go to libraries. This is why they go to libraries, because there's already pre-negotiated rates. They call it a rate card. The amount is already settled. They know they're paying peanuts and they're not even expecting amazing music. So this is why I tell you, and I done told you in a previous episode, could you stop giving these libraries your amazing music? Them libraries ain't for that. If you're going to make good music, go ahead out here and get you a sync agent and get you that indie level and layer of budget. Look, go ahead and take that masterclass so you can learn why you need to get up and sing and get to making this amazing music and stop giving it to libraries. Ew. Anyway, Here's where the indie music buyer can mess up. Because looky here. You out here Indian, right? You out here thirsty for placements. And you're thinking, I know how I'll get a placement. I'll take the cheapest price. Look, a music buyer hit you up. Bing! I got $10 for you. Would you like to be in my show? Yes, I'll take it. Because you're just thirsty. You're not even negotiating. You're not even thinking about the type of production, the type of media, how long the length and stuff. Look, we talked about licensing on your own terms. Can I tell you, your own terms is not just accepting whatever a music buyer offers. Look, sometimes a music buyer know they got a bigger budget. And I'm finna get in on these music buyers in a few minutes. But right now we're talking about you. Mr. Music Seller, Mrs. Music Seller, future music superstars. Now, when they come to you with their $10 offer, when they come to you with their $20 offer, when they come to you with them library fees, why is you taking that? Because can I tell you something? That's in look, that's at the bottom of the ecosystem. Look, all you're doing is shortchanging your future value. You're shortchanging your fellow sync superstars' future value. Because look, when a music buyer know that, oh, these artists come a dime a dozen. They making amazing music and they don't know the worth. They don't got no agent. Let me go over here and offer them a couple of dollars. Watch them take it. Look, some of these music buyers just be testing to see how thirsty you are. Look, they'll have the $5,000 for the budget. They tell you, oh, we got $500 for the budget. Is that okay? And you be like, yes. You'll be answering before you even hear the amount. Like, hey, who raised you? And can I tell you, who gonna feed you? Because look, when you licensing your music for pennies, rent still due. And look, you might have 20 placements this month and you still can't cover rent, let alone the phone bill. Look, the next time they try to reach you, you can't even, look. You out here claiming you superstarring and you can't even keep the phone on because you charging, look, you letting them charge 10 cents. Okay. You like an old Sprint plan, 10 cents a minute. Ew. Look, stop doing that. Okay. If you're going to get a placement that doesn't pay, look, you just back to, look, artists be so thirsty these days. You just ruining the ecosystem. If you're going to get a placement that doesn't pay, why are you working and pitching for that? You could have just put your music in a library and they would go buy them rate cards. They would get more money for you than you can get for you if you ain't going to get no money. Ew. So I hear everybody losing money because once a music buyer know, oh, there's so many artists out here doing music. Oh, there's so many artists out here doing sync or claiming to do sync. Oh, there's so many artists out here pitching me music. Let me just offer them 2 pennies. Let me see if they take them couple of dollars. Okay. And then look, I can get this budget done, look, in 50 cents or less. Look. Let me tell you something. My accounting degree, I had a little job with the Army while I was in college. And can I tell you, I used to manage their budget. You know what they used to do when they get money from the government? If they had a budget and they didn't spend all of it, you know, when it got close to the end of the quarter, what they would do? They would put trips. They would send the soldiers on all types of trips. When I tell you I was out here buying furniture and doing all types of fixes and upgrades, I thought I was an interior designer. Yeah. Shout out to that. Look, because I had they quarters looking real nice. Can I tell you, I was out here picking carpet and whatnot. But anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Anyway, the whole point of that story was to let you know that if they didn't spend the budget they were allotted by the government, next quarter, the government wouldn't even give them that same budget. So you know what they would do? They would spend it. Once they got close to the end of the quarter, they would budget accordingly. And when they saw they had a little leftover, a little surplus, they would go ahead and book trips, get some training. Look, they would use that money up so that next quarter they could get that money. Now, can I tell you something? Here's what the music buyers is out here doing. Okay. If they meeting and exceeding the budget and they doing great work, getting all this amazing music for 2 pennies, can I tell you what happens next quarter? Yeah. They're going to, these production companies going to realize, oh, look, this music buyer can go get music for $3. I don't need to give them $10,000. Look, each time the budget just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's not because there's so much more music. Yes, naturally, if there's an oversupply, the price is going to come down. That's already naturally. But what's unnatural is you being so thirsty, you just won't even charge $5 for your music. Could you charge a fair price? And could you charge more than what these libraries are charging? And can you charge less what these major labels are charging? Okay, because that's why you here. You here to be in the middle, but you racing to the bottom. And that's my problem. Anyway, I got a problem with music buyers too. Because look, you're doing your job too well. Can I tell you? They give you a budget. And look, you be trying to get so over, but look, could you not do so well that you don't care about the survival of the indie artists in this ecosystem? Because here's the thing, look, when you want to get your Beyonce song, when you want to get your Michael Jackson song, you spare no expense. Look, you be overpaying because you want to get that in there. Can I tell you, Beyonce don't care about your film? Look, can I tell you, she's not finna promote it to her fans. When you get an indie artist, you're paying less for amazing quality music, and they out here yelling from the rooftop, hey, everybody, I got a placement. Hey, everybody, look here, check me out. Look, they out here helping promote your show. They out here helping promote your work. Look, they out here helping you get your Emmys. Look, they out here helping you get your Grammys. Whatever awards you can get for picking amazing music. Can I tell you, amazing music had to be made by these amazing indie artists. So can you try to pay them? Look, can you keep the game going? Can I tell you? Okay, because first of all, the thing that get me with these music buyers, look, they spare no expense for the major artists, and I get it, because you got to pay a major fee to get a major artist. But here's the thing. You spare no expense, and then you try to give indie artists pennies. Do you think that's fair? Anyway, my whole point is you got a whole 2-hour movie. You put one major artist song in there, and now the rest of the song is going to be carried by these indie artists that you giving pennies. Look, just could you think about it? Ew. Okay, because every time you can't afford a major artist, can I tell you who come through for you? An indie artist. Could we talk about it? And also, let me say this. Look, it ain't your money. Look, you're being paid. You're being hired as a music buyer to get the best music for the production. Your goal is to get the best music for the production. Now, at the same token, it ain't even your money. So if you know I'm trying to look, I got to pay my rent. I got to feed my cat. I ain't got no cat. Yeah, I got to feed my kids. I ain't got no kids. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about? Because there's artists out here that do. Now, look, we got bills to pay. Look, you got to know that. Look, these major artists and took all this budget. Look, and now y'all out here striking and stuff. The writers, look, the actors that was out here striking and stuff. Can I tell you why these unions were created? The unions were created to create, look, a level of, look, fairness for the quality of work that's being provided. Look, when you're in a union, look, when you're in that SAG and AFTRA union, look, there's certain rates they got to pay you. Okay. And if a production is not a union production, they could go out here and get these non-union workers. And the non-union workers are expecting to get paid lower. So look, I'm getting back to the indie artists because looky here. You're not a library. You should not have amazing indie music in a library. You're messing up the ecosystem. Okay. Because look, I just say this and I'm going to hop up off this episode. If a music buyer can get amazing music from a library, tell me why they're going to pay more money from the indie artists. Well, tell me why they're going to get music from a sync agent and have to pay probably 10 times the amount, 5 times the amount, 25 times the amount. Tell me why. Okay. Look, the reason the indie artist layer of sync was developed in the ecosystem was because the majors was charging too much. Look, they legitimately did not have the money to have every song be a major label artist. Unless it's like a major movie production where the whole soundtrack is newly created music from major artists. Yeah, they break the bank on those. Yeah. But can I tell you, when the budget don't qualify, here come the indie artists. So if you, Mr. and Mrs. Indie artists, are in that level above the library works, your music is not rate card work. So if you're making amazing indie music that's to replace major artists when they can't afford to license those artists, why would your music be in the library? If you don't know how to negotiate and you're so thirsty you're going to take any old kind of placement, why are you pitching direct? Why don't you give your music to an agent? Here's the solution. Give your music to an agent. Because look, this is what they're going to do. They're going to try to negotiate the highest rate. Because look, their commission depend on it. So they want to get you the most money they can get for you. Okay. Look, and if you give your music to an agent and they don't know how to negotiate and they're getting the fees that you can get by pitching direct, why don't you pitch direct? Oh, you too lazy for that. Oh, you didn't know there was a 24-hour Sync Superstar Challenge out here in these streets where you could you can learn how to pitch direct. You can learn how to work with these agents too and get all the money. Okay, I'm trying to teach you how to superstar and you don't want to know. But look, you killing the game and you messing up the ecosystem when you undercutting, when you underbidding everybody. It's just a race to the bottom. Oh, and one more thing for the music buyers. Let me tell you, if you keep if you keep coming through with these lowball offers for indie artists, you finna replace your own job. Because here's the thing. Look, once the production companies know, oh, all the artists are thirsty, I can get music a dime a dozen from a library, from an indie artist, from everybody. Look, here's what I'll do. I don't need a music supervisor. I can just run to the libraries, get amazing music, and just throw it in there myself. Look, anybody can do this job. Look, it starts to water down the value of the music supervision. Could you go out here and get the best music and look, pay fair prices for it so that there's an industry to continue? Look, so that there's an ecosystem, so that there's some artists that can live and thrive off of this stuff. I'm just saying. It's just a suggestion, not a solution. One more thing. Look, my final point, and then I'm going to close this episode out. If there's no value in the music, there's no market to license. Here's the thing. Look, if they don't value music no more, it's just going to be a market where, they'll start paying you with just exposure. They'll start to remind you that, look, the benefit of sync was that you get paid to be promoted. That was the magic of it. They're the one place where they would treat music fairly and give you money without you having to have fans just because you had good music. So now if you race to the bottom and make the value of everybody's music pennies, here's what's going to happen. There's no market for your music. So look, it's take it or leave it. We got $5, take it or leave it. Or they just won't pay nothing. Here's what they start doing. Say, you get exposure. Your song could blow up. Look. This is how they got artists to start performing for free. Can I tell you? Yeah. Now, look, if you can't bring no audience, if you can't bring no draw, you don't deserve to be paid to perform. But can I tell you this? You could get, look, you're going to get it where Sync going to start telling you, oh, you could blow up off of this song. Oh, we put in a reality show and you might take off. Look, your career might pop. And they'll just start paying you money. And now everybody going to be just racing to the bottom. Look, just doing stuff for exposure again. Look, you're going to be at your 9 to 5 forever. Look, if we got to talk about it, we got to talk about it. Now, can I tell you about it? Look here, if a music buyer step to you and say, hey, I'm working on a project and I want to license your music. Look, if the requirement in order to license your music is that they get a cut of your sync fee. Look, if they acting look quasi as your agent, plus getting money from the production. Can I tell you that it feels a little greasy? Can we talk about it? Because I know people going to say hush on this. Look, but I don't hush for nobody. Can I tell you Bubble speak her mind? Look, I don't care about this. Can I tell you I wrote a book from Sync to Superstar? And can I tell you I've been scammed a day or two before? Can I tell you I know about a scammer? I know about a hustler. Look, I'm from Brooklyn. I know people. I know when people doing shady dealings. I'm just here to let you know what's happening. Okay? So now can I tell you, if a music buyer come to you and they say, hey, I want to license your music, but I need a cut of your sync fee. Could you tell them like, ew, ain't you getting paid from the production? So you mean to tell me you taking money from me and from the production? It sounds a little like greasy. It sounds a little like double dipping. I don't know. It sounds a little nasty. Because now I'm wondering, is you really out here getting the best music? Or you just getting the music out here that's going to line your pockets? Yeah. If you just preying on these indie artists that don't know no better. Are you preying on these indie artists that are just a little thirsty? Okay, so look, even worse than that. Look, if a music buyer, if you want to call them that, because now they're getting real. I'm getting into janky territory right about now. Anyway, look, if a music buyer hit you up and say, I want to license your music, but I need you to pay me a couple of dollars, you're going to get so much promo that your mind going to explode and you're going to be a superstar tomorrow. Can I tell you they lying? Can I tell you they taxing you? Look, ask them. Don't you get a check from the production people for your job? Why is you charging me? Don't that just sound, look, you're a future superstar out here. You know how this sync ecosystem works. You done read enough books on sync. You done watched enough videos. You don't know no better. You can't tell that sound a little, look, I don't know, hairy. Look, it sounds a little back hairy. Look, it sounds a little hair on my knuckles. Can I tell you? It sounds a little, look, werewolf hairy. It sounds a little greasy. Look, it sounds a little Wesson cooking oil greasy. Look, it sounds a little, look, cholesterol in our heart greasy. I'm trying to tell you, it sounds like something you just want to, look, I'd rather not associate myself. Can I tell you? Accepting a janky deal ain't gonna do nothing but mess up the whole market. If you can't even license your music without having to pay the music buyer, ain't you supposed to be paying me for my music? Why is you charging me? Look, that's not how the game go. Can I tell you? Bubble on deck.
Look, if you're broke, don't talk to me. I said if you're broke, you can't talk to me. Hey.